Now I'm suing him for telling everybody I did cocaine with Michael Jackson. So, good luck, bud.
This past week, butt buddies Aaron Carter and Perez Hilton were obviously in desperate need of attention because Perez posted an old article he knew would get a reaction out of Aaron. Although the headline, Aaron Carter says Michael Jackson gave me cocaine and wine, was intriguing, I was more interested in the details of the original 2011 interview that Aaron has been spending years trying to discredit. Before we start, a trigger warning may be appropriate. Even though this video is not accusing any of the people mentioned, this is just my opinion regarding public information. There are hints to and conversation about adults having inappropriate relations with minors. To give a little context to this article, we need to go back to December 2003. Aaron Carter just turned 16 and was trying to get emancipated after he found out his momager was mishandling his money. It's standard that when a kid is trying to get emancipated, they have to show proof of stable income and being able to provide for themselves. Right? Makes sense. Well, in the financial documents Aaron provided, he stated he was given $1 million worth of gifts, mostly jewelry, from actor Bruce Willis. I know. Just wait a second. We'll get back to that. Because, what the fuck? I have so many questions. I know you probably have questions. We haven't heard Bruce Willis's name in years. When the documents were released, there were no other details given. There was never a comment from Bruce Willis or his team, and Aaron never clarified. Even stranger than that, exactly 1 month later, Aaron dropped the Emancipation suit, and all original articles were erased from the internet, while everyone acted like it never happened. That is until 2006, when Howard Stern and his co-host were brave enough to bring it up during an interview with Aaron and Nick. Now, during the clip, try to listen to the way Aaron's telling his story. It sounds like a teen trying to tell his parents a funny story without saying the parts that'll get him in trouble.
I'm looking at this article about the lawsuit, and it says that Bruce Willis bought, it came out in the lawsuit, that Bruce Willis bought you over $1 million worth of gifts. Is that true?
That's not true.
Oh, really? Because it's in this article. I'm thinking, like, what?
The only thing that I am good friends with Bruce Willis, and I am good friends with his children, Tallulah and Rumor and Scout. I know them, and I know Demi, I know that whole
You ever see her in a bikini? Demi? Like
No.
when you ever go over like their house, they have a swimming pool, right?
No, I never went to their house. I went to Bruce's house.
No.
Never went to Demi's house. But Bruce, he contacted me, came to one of my shows. His daughter are fans.
Big fan.
And so he flew me to Animal Kingdom.
Right.
Where he was Rumor was having a birthday party. I surprised her and stayed with him for a couple days in his suite. And
nice.
it's pretty cool, I got to learn just a lot about the industry and everything from him, and he gave me a jacket on behalf of, I don't know, just
everybody gives you jackets.
Yeah. Why is everybody giving you
I got a jacket from Bruce Willis.
Actually,
Now, I have no proof that Aaron's story left out crucial details about that encounter. Somehow, even though Howard Stern clearly and directly asked Aaron why these adult men are giving him all of these gifts, nobody batted an eye or even thought to question Bruce Willis. I guess at that time, people believed Michael Jackson was the only celebrity man that could be interested in little boys. Which brings us to the infamous slumber party at Michael Jackson's house that Aaron talks about literally any chance he gets. In the same interview, Howard Stern proves that in the early 2000s, the truth was downplayed and discredited by being called gossip. Yet somehow, 6 years before Aaron admitted it himself, Stern was able to ask him about smoking weed and drinking wine with Michael Jackson that night. It actually turns out that Aaron's late sister Leslie was the sister who reported that Aaron was doing drugs and drinking with Michael that night. Now, take a look at 2 different times Aaron described that night. Specifically 2006 on Howard Stern's show, and 2011 in Spain.
Aaron's sister said that Michael and you smoked weed together.
Which sister of mine would say something like that?
I don't know.
Probably Angel. No, he made it up.
I made it up.
No.
Tell the truth.
No.
Raise your right
never.
hand. I swear to God, I never smoked weed with Michael.
I swear I never smoked weed with Michael
Did you ever
Jackson.
drink wine with him? Jesus juice. You never had Jesus juice?
No, it's not true.
Nick, you're the older brother.
It was Moses juice.
Why did you leave Aaron alone with Michael Jackson? What happened?
Not a damn thing.
What happened that night?
It was fine. He hung out. Chris Tucker was there. And Chris Tucker was staying in the movie theater, and I stayed on the other outside the movie theater.
Wait a second, you were blonde, you were young, you were hairless. I mean, come on, you had to be.
I don't know about hairless.
All right, did he put his arms around you? Did he touch you in any way? Never. Did he ever say, "Hey, why don't we have a sleepover"?
Never.
Never suggested a sleepover.
Never heard anything like that.
See, I'm beginning to agree with Aaron. He was too old.
I got a theory. No, I got a theory.
So Nick splits from Michael Jackson's house. You end up spending the night there, and nothing happened.
Absolutely nothing.
Where did you sleep?
Did he watch you
get
beat off?
In the theater. I slept in the theater.
Oh,
There's beds in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Last, we have some video and audio from the 2011 interview where Aaron said MJ gave him coke and wine. Now, there is a full transcript of the interview. If you guys want me to go through it, I can make a separate video. But these raw clips are probably the closest we'll ever get to knowing what really happened that night.
The only other person who knows about this is Chris. So, and it was great. It was a great time. It was a good time, and it was fun because I don't think Michael ever got a chance to really do stuff like that. Famous to me is like nothing, you know. It's just a person is a person, you know. That's how I look at it. People are people, and that's how I looked at Michael. You know, if I had a feeling or a question, I asked him. I didn't never had a filter on with him. I think he respected that.
Did you see him doing drugs or anything?
I mean, there was definitely things that happened, you know, that were just different, you know, weird. He, I mean, you know, he drank. You know, drank around me a little bit, and you know,
And you were like what, 14, 15?
Yeah, I was 14 years old. So, and yeah.
But did he ask you to drink?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't see any drug addictions.
I personally didn't see any drug addictions. You know, I never saw any injections, nothing like that. No, I never saw it.
He looked all the time there. He looked same.
The time that I spent with him, yes, he was fine. You know, but who knows? I mean, you know, people, you know, the human body builds tolerance for things. You know, the human body. This is how it is. You know, so who knows? I mean, he could have been doing something, and I didn't have a clue. So, you know.
But you spent a short time with him, actually. You spent 2 days with him. 2 days, you can hide things.
Yeah.
Okay, drinks, okay, but pills.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, he could have, you know, walked in the bathroom, took it. You know, it takes 2 seconds. You know. He wanted me to stay in this room. So he got a cot, a bed, and I stayed on the cot in this room. And what it must have been like 5 o'clock in the morning. I have all sorts of stories for you, but nobody knows why. 5 o'clock in the morning. He's on my bed. He's on the foot of my bed. I wake up. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, I'm 15 years old. You know, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know. I'm in his bed, and I'm like, you know, I'm like,
Scared, but like, you know, because like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean.
And what about his kids? I don't understand. But you were doing all this regular day.
They were in the room right next door. The room right next door. And usually, he didn't want anybody hanging out with his kids. No one. But me, I spent hours with his children. He allowed me to spend time with his children, which he didn't really do.
So after you stayed 2 days, how often did you talk to him?
All the time. All the time.
So that's during the tour, yeah. And it was really, really tough, and I couldn't tell him.
I mean, it was... I mean...
Here goes some key points, kind of like spark notes, of some important things that I feel like the public maybe didn't notice or just ignored. Aaron only mentions Michael Jackson by name when talking about the drugs and wine. Aaron states repeatedly he was up until 5 a.m. with Chris Tucker. In his 2011 interview, Aaron stated someone crawled into his bed while he was sleeping, but never specifically mentions Michael. Last key thing that may be important, my mind's kind of weird, so maybe it's just important to me, but Chris Tucker just so happens to be named by Jeffrey Epstein's pilot as a frequent flyer to Epstein Island. Now, I'm sure you guys all know about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and their disgusting behavior. My conclusion is that Aaron, like many other child stars, was sadly passed around the industry. But he exaggerates or makes up abuse to distract from the real things he might have experienced. This video was literally just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Aaron Carter's childhood and different events that occurred in his life that were able to get swept under the rug because at the time, the internet wasn't a place where you read something and believed it. So if you guys want a video on the other things that went on that Aaron doesn't want to talk about and articles his team tried to hide, make sure to leave a like and a comment, click the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.